welcome to Bookwood. Hi, I'm glad you chose to spend some time with me. In this video, I'm setting up the annual pages in my bullet journal. I like to start a new year in September, when we start a new school year here in Belgium. This video was meant to come out in August, but life was lifing and I didn't got the time to edit it, so I decided to upload it for you now. I think I found my favorite brand of notebooks, Tifosi. I enjoyed my brocade journal so much that I went with another of their notebooks, the Moonlight Melody, and I chose this beige color. I thought it was a nice color for fall. I glued the first pages together. They open awkwardly and I will not use them anyway. Not sure if I would like to decorate this name page. I decide to do this decision at the end and we'll see what I end up doing with it. I do add in my name and the months I will be using this journal for. The journal starts with this single dotted page and I didn't want to make another cover page, so I went with an index. I will not refer to it many times, but it might come in handy if someone else needs to find some information in my bullet journal. This journal will hold a lot of pages with annual information that I will not give or take over again in my other journals. It will live on my desk for the whole year. I had a lot of these gothic style stickers in my stack of stationery, and they made me think of vampires and Dracula in particular. I read that book last fall and I did quite enjoy it. It is also a neutral theme that somehow still feels like very fall, but will not be unpleasant to use at another time of the year. These stickers are very handy. You can pull them easily back off. I like that. The first complete spread will be my in case of emergency spread. If you want to know more about that spread, I will redirect you to the YouTube channel Mom on the Spectrum, who is the lady that invented this information. She has it on a card that you can take with you everywhere, and it holds information about how to help an autistic person when during some kind of emergency or at another point this person has a meltdown or an implosion. I use this spread also to make a list of my other diagnoses and the medications I take, in what doses and how many times a day. I also put on here the contact information for my husband and my general practitioner doctor, so that in case of a need, medical care can contact these persons to have more information. Next up, my future log, a page that has no title. I know what it is for and it saves me a little bit of space. I include only the first 4 months that are upcoming on this spread, and I have used the Dutch abbreviations for the months. I don't notice when languages change, and I really wanted to include this very beautiful K that I have on the stencil with this font, and in Dutch Oktober is with AK. I always leave a lot of space in these months, and I divide it in 3 zones. One where I can keep track of birthdays, one in which I keep track of appointments or events that are date specific, and also some space to write down events that reoccur every year that I would like to go to, or that I would like to keep in mind, and where I have no specific dates for yet. Basically, it is the events that will end up in my what can we do or my outings spread every month. These pages are an example of information that I want to migrate into my next journals. All the info about the schools and the hobbies of my kids. I will put down here the more general information about their schools, but also the contact info of teachers and educators that I might need to contact during this school year. And it will also hold all the same information for their after-school activity. I will not be referring to these pages as much, but it is handy to have all the information together. And that's also why I like to use this type of Dutch stores in this type of collections. It feels like the information stays together, all under the same banner. Every September I have to rethink my daily and weekly schedule. School hours and activity hours change, and I think it is a good way to make sure that I don't hang on to routines that do not work anymore. Writing it all down makes it more mindful. This is also a spread that I don't migrate. I do have 2 weekends, since 1 out of 2 my biggest 2 kids visit their dad, and that has an impact on how I organize my day. I pair this planner with another planner that I use as an overview of the different weeks, and in which I plan out when I need to do something seasonal or start planning seasonal events. I tend to forget that time goes by very quickly, and without this reminder, I will always be running behind the facts. This is a part that I do migrate to every journal and update to the months that are upcoming, and that I use a lot. The When Did I Last spread is a classic. I split it into two sides, one for the house and one for the animals. Sometimes I feel like this is a waste of space because I have not always a lot to write on this spread. But when I skip it, I will regret it, and that will be the time when there are light bulbs to change or other little sporadic tasks like that. But why a site for animals, you ask? Well, maybe you remember from my first videos that we have a reptile refuge, and this means that I keep track of a lot of information, like when animals enter, when they refuse to eat, when they shed, when we go to the vet. And I use these pages for that. I hesitated if I would include the next two spreads in this video. They are for tracking, only during the span of this journal, some of our grocery habits. We signed up for HelloFresh and would like to limit our visits to the supermarket. I'll write down all our regular bought items that we could buy bulk or have delivered in a regular basis. I hope I will be able to keep up with this list. I think the title though is not correct. In English, I feel bought would have been the better word choice, but it's okay. I know what I mean with this. This one is to adjust our order of hygiene products. We have an automatic delivery subscription at 900 Care, and I feel products are stacking up. I want to find out how to adjust the order. I struggled to find a good layout and ended up with this one. I love it, and now I use the same principle for my outing spread. How I use it? I'll mark the dates that we start with a new refill of the product, and each of the products will have its own color on the calendar. Two of the products we use work a little bit differently in how they arrive, and so I made them their own little square. Yes, you saw that right. I just switched to the back of my journal and I again glued the first pages together. I always do a part of my yearly setup at the end of my journal because I find that when I have all my spreads in the front of it, some spreads are way more difficult to access in a snap. I use the back page to make this We Are Open spread. It holds the opening hours and sometimes contact info of stores and the library and things like that we always are looking up. And by having them all the way in the back, I just have to flip open my journal to have the information right in front of me. No skipping through the pages to find the right one. And I will also be putting some other information that I need to access less here in the back as well. This one is the second part of my future log. It holds all the months that are after or before the months in this journal. I make it way smaller because I have way less appointments to write down so far in advance, but I needed a place to keep track of the birthdays, to not forget them, but also to keep track of those events that I want to go back to next year. And these smaller spaces are good for that. It is a page that I do not need to refer to often, so I add it in the back. This is a collection that I only set up in my September start of the year journal. It will not migrate to the next two journals, and it is called Doctors and Such. It is a list of all the medical type of professions that we use to or that we go to. And I refresh this list every year. Some therapists are no longer needed and some add, and so I am sure that I have the correct contact information for each one of them. Since the list tends to grow lately, I gave myself 3 spreads in total, and I created this little Dutch door in a waterfall tab style. I had never done these waterfall tabs, and I did quite struggle a little bit to have them in a way that I like. Also, what I didn't like, and I'm not sure I will use waterfall tabs ever again, is that when you see them like in the right way, they are very nice, but when you turn them back or flip them over, it is not at all the same view, and I struggled a little bit to make that look nice as well. but I think that in the end it turned out quite nice. Again, a spread that won't migrate with me to my next journals, that is my FODMAP list. I have irritable bowel syndrome as one of my health issues, and I stick to a low FODMAP diet. I tend to forget everything that I should be mindful with eating, and so I decided to add it in again, and to leave myself also some space to write notes, since I have discovered that my syndrome is evolving, changing, and I want to keep a better track of which types of food I can and cannot eat. This is also information that will come in handy when I visit my doctor for this again. I absolutely wanted to include this page in my video because I wanted to show to all of you that a bullet journal can hold more information than only your daily to-do lists. We are almost done, only one spread left after this cleaning schedule one. This is also a spread that I set up in my first bullet journal of my September start year, since again when all the organization in the house changed, I have to be mindful of when I can do which tasks. And nothing is better than to write them out, at least to me. And so I have this spread that I refer to a lot. I make a cleaning schedule that is based on the Fly Lady method, but instead of over 4 weeks, I have it over 7 weeks, since that is typically the duration of a period in school. And then we have a break of 2 weeks, and then in the summer of 8 weeks. In this schedule, I have 8 boxes, and the first one is dedicated to a list of what I call the minimum cleaning in the house. That is a way for me to have a peace of mind when I have very busy weeks or vacation with the kids, or when I am just in a very bad health place, that if I just can do this, then at least I can feel that my house has been taken care of. The last spread I will be setting up is this next bujo spread. I use it to take notes of what I would like to include or absolutely not include in my next journal, but I use it also to plan out how many pages I will have for each section of it. and also to think about the theme and to test out some ideas. I had some scraps of paper left and I decided to use them to decorate the name page in the start of the journal. Unfortunately, I couldn't do around the whole A5 size page, so I just did this under section of it. It looks a little bit weird, but then hey, it's okay like that. This will be the last decoration you'll see me do before we go into the flip through, and in that flip through will also be the pages I set up for September. The book that I used as inspiration for that is The Very Secret Society of Extraordinary Witches, if I translate it right by head. And I want to use this little outro also to tell you that every little sound you hear in the background, that are of course the cats that are running around the house. See you soon!